Hey guys, welcome back. Like in the previous video, we understand how we can create a project with the help of a Spring initializer and also understand the dependency that we are going to use in our project. So first of all, we are going to create and configure the database. So ensure that you have installed PostgreSQL like pgadmin in your system. If you have not, then what you have to do, you have to go and watch any video on YouTube and you will find that how you can install a pgadmin in your system, and it is easy to install. So I will first create a database. In the database, I will first create a database. So I will give a database name like blog news, blog data. So I will click on save and it will create a database. So this is our database blog data, and in the application.properties, I will first write a properties of our database. Like let me write the properties a spring.data source.url, and let me show you guys how you can get these properties from the browser. So you have to write the here spring database properties, okay, and you have to head over to the Geek4Geeks and other websites also, and you will find the properties of the database. So you will find a lot of properties. Like for the project you are going to use the MySQL, then this is the properties for the MySQL database, and for the S2 console and for the MongoDB, and like we are going to use the Postgres, then this is the properties for the PostgreSQL. Okay, so I will first copy it from here and I will remove it and put it here. Fine. Like our Postgres default port is 5432. So I will leave it, and we have to change it one thing, that I am going to use the database like blog data. So I will put the name of the database blog data, and this is our username. I will leave it default, and we have to put the database password. Like when we install our database, we have set a password for our database. So we have to enter it here. Like in my case, my password is different, and for your system, your password is different, and I'm not going to use the JPA. Like, so I will remove these properties. Like it will show what SQL command it run in the console. I will put here one command, that spring.jpa hibernate EDL. I will put here the update command update. Okay, like whenever we made any changes, when we rerun our project, it will update our database also. So I think our application, like our database properties are completed now, and it will able to connect with our database. So it's time to configure the Cloudinary. Okay, so you have to first create a Cloudinary account. Like you have to head over to the Cloudinary platform, and this is the Cloudinary websites, and you have to first create, and it is easy to create an account on a Cloudinary. So you have to click on the get started, and I have already account, and it is easy to create account on a Cloudinary. You have to simple log in with your email ID. So I will first log in. So I will click on my email and log in into Cloudinary platform. So this is the interface of the Cloudinary, and this is a simple interface of the Cloudinary where we have the assets and images and lot of things. Okay, so in the asset sections we have to move to the folder. We have to create a folder. Like I have already a folder news image, so you can also create a folder. Like when you click on the create folder, you are able to create a folder. Okay, in the home sections we need three things. First is cloud name. So let me copy it and paste it in the, like I will write a properties cloud name cloud key. So we need three things. Like first is cloud name and Cloudinary cloud API and API key. Okay, so we just copied the cloud name, so I will paste it here, and Cloudinary cloud API. Go to the API key section and you will find that there is a API key. So this is our active API. So I will first copy it from here and paste it in the properties, and in the Cloudinary cloud key, here is our Cloudinary API secret. Let me change the name. Like this is our secret, and I will first copy. Let me visible it. So it send a confirmation email to our Gmail. So what I will first, I will open a Gmail and copy the Cloudinary code and paste it here. Okay, so the Cloudinary secret are visible now, and I am able to copy it. So I will paste it here. Okay, so I think we got three things. We are going to use the three things in our configuration file. Okay, so I will make a package here, like this is our going to be a configuration. So I'm put it the name config. Okay, and here I'm going to use a Java class file and name it Cloudinary, and this is our config. Okay, so this is our going to be our configuration class, and first I will put all the three properties like private string. First is cloud name, and second private string cloud API, private string cloud key. Okay, so with the help of value indentation, I think I made a mistake. Okay, so with the help of value indentation, we will put the value from the spring.properties, like from the application.properties to the Cloudinary config file. Okay, I will use the value indentation, and the value indentation help us to fetch the data from the application.properties file. Okay, so we have to use this line to access the properties. Like I'm going to copy this name for the mistakes, to avoid the mistakes, and I will paste it here, and also use here the value annotation. Okay, also use the value annotation here and copy it in the Cloudinary secret and paste it here. Now हम लोग तीनों properties को application.properties से एक्सेस कर सकते हैं, एंड देन व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, यू हैव टू क्रिएट अ bin for the Cloudinary. Like bin, let me show you guys public, and I'm going to use the Cloudinary and I will name it here Cloudinary. Okay, and this Cloudinary take a map. Like when we head over to the Cloudinary, and it have a constructor, let me show you, it have a constructor that accept a map. So we have to pass a map and put the three fields like a cloud name and API and a key to the Cloudinary. Okay, so we have to create a map first. What I will do next, I will first create a map, and it is a string type, and this is a string. Okay, and name it here config. What I do here, I will first rename it secret. Okay, so this is our config, and we have to create a as map. And what I will do next, I will first add all the things like config.add, config.put. We have to use the put. Okay, and we have to put the cloud name, and we have to put the cloud name here, fine. And we have to, like similarly, we have to put all the three properties, config.put cloud API, and here we have cloud API, config.put cloud secret, and we have to put the cloud secret. Okay, fine. So हम लोगों ने तीनों फील्ड को इस मैप में पुट कर दिया, and what we have to do, we have to return the object, like we have to return new Cloudinary, and we have to pass the config. Okay, so we have to pass, like we see it accept the map, so we have to pass the config here and use the semicolon. So, and what we have to do next, we have to create a bin, like it inject the dependency. Okay, like you aware with the basic of the Spring Boot, you know bin annotation help to inject the dependency of the Cloudinary. Okay, fine. So our Cloudinary configuration is completed now, and it's time to configure the WebSocket. And first ensure that in the pom.xml you have a dependency of the WebSocket. Like I already have a dependency of the WebSocket. Let me show you. I think, look, this is our WebSocket dependency. Okay, so I'm going to configure the WebSocket. So सबसे पहले आपको pom.xml में जाकर चेक कर लेना है, like you have the dependency of the WebSocket, then you are able to configure the WebSocket. So I will first create a class. So I will name it WebSocket config. Okay, so what I will do next, I will first create a Java class and name it WebSocket config, web and config, and I will press enter. Okay, so to configure the WebSocket, we have to implement one class. It is WebSocket a message broker config. Okay, and we have to put it here and annotate with the configuration, and also the enable WebSocket messenger broker. Configuration annotation tells us, like this is our configuration class where we are going to configure the WebSocket, and this annotation like enable WebSocket messenger broker helps to enable our WebSocket configuration. Okay, so we have to override two things, like one is the register stomp endpoints, and the second is configure message broker. So what I will do first, we have to override, like what I will do next, I will like when we head over to the WebSocket, like WebSocket broker configure, we see there are a lot of methods. Okay, you can find there are lots of methods. Okay, so we need two things, like message broker registry. Okay, so we have to override it, and second is register stomp endpoints. So this is our WebSocket messenger broker configurer class, and there are lots of methods. So we have to first configure the configure message broker. What we will do, we will first override this method. Two methods, let me show you guys. First is public void, and first is register HTMP endpoints. HTMP endpoints and is fine, and we have to pass the HTMP endpoint registry. I will explain you later. So let me write the code first. Endpoint registry, and we have to registry. So we have to first register it. Registry dot add endpoints, and we have to first add the endpoint like AWS, and whatever you want you can write it, and then it's allowed origin, and I am going to allow all the origin. Okay, like if you want to put the URL you can also put it here, and I will also with Socket.js we are going to override this and we have also override one method like public void like configure message broker, and this one. Okay, so I will paste it, enter message broker registry, and we have to put the rule like if anyone enter in our WebSocket, then what we have to do, like let me first clear it all. We have to put the rule here. I will change the name, like I will put the config. Okay, fine, config dot enable simple broker, and I will put here I will put config dot enable application and destination prefixes, and here I will add the app. Okay, so I think our configuration is completed for the WebSocket. Let me explain you guys. So here we have to implement the WebSocket message broker configurer because we want to use the message, like we want to use a WebSocket for the messaging purpose, like we want to send a notification, and the user can also send a notification to us, like if he want to send any messages, like any companies want to connect with us, then we got a notification in our admin panel and we see in the previous video. Okay, so what we done here, we first implement the WebSocket message broker configured overrided two methods. First is register stomp endpoint, like it helps us to create or make a door between our project and the WebSocket. Like it will first register HTMP. HTMP means like we have the browser and mobile phone, these are the HTMP endpoints. Okay, so it will make a door for our registration, like we are going to use the WebSocket, so it will create a door. Okay, like this is our entry point, and it will help us to create an entry point for our project. Like if anyone want to enter for the WebSocket, like for the notification or for the messaging purpose, like it will create a gate it will create a gate for us, and where we can enter it. Like after the entering there are setup rule, like we have to define a setup rule, like which can send the messages and how can send the messages. Like in the configuration, like we enable simple broker. Okay, like here from the server we can send the messages to the client, and here in the set application destination prefixes, this help us to allow like a client can send a notification to the server. Okay, so this method help us to send the notification to the like from the server. If we any upload a news like related to any topic, we can also send the notification to the client. Okay, and if in the client side, if the user, like in the client side, if any ad company want to connect with you, then he can also send a notification. Then this method help us to send a notification like any messages from the client side to server side. So this method help us to send the messages, real-time messages from the client side to server side. Okay, so this is the rule. Like from here we can send the message. Let me comment out server to client, and here this method help us send the real-time notification like from client to server. Okay, and it is easy to understand. Like so these are the two rules. Like I write the topic here, in whatever you want you can write it. Like here if we upload for any news, if we update any news from the server side, the client get a notification. So I write topic here, like our URL start from the news headlines and also the whatever. Okay, and this is the app, like you can write anything. Like we got a server side notification, and the notification are from the client side. Okay, and this is the WebSocket config, where I think you got all the points related to the WebSocket. Like this method help us to create an entry point for the WebSocket and register, like let me explain you in the depth. Okay, so register stomp endpoints, like it will register our client. Like there are lots of client, that is Chrome, mobile phone and whatever. Okay, so Stomp endpoints means there are a Chrome and whatever phones you are use it, okay, their data stomp endpoints, and this will create a gate for us. And WS client means WebSocket, and if we use the localhost, then the URL start from like this is the structure http:// localhost colon 8080, and we have the /ws. So this is our structure of the URL when we connect it to the WebSocket. Okay, and we set the allowed origin, like any URL can connect with us. Like if you want to put the URL, you can also put it, but I'm going to allow all the origin. Okay, and with sock.js I'm using because if there are lower version, if anyone use the Chrome of the lower version, then you can support with a sock.js. Like the older version, we are able to access the WebSocket. If anyone use the lower version of the Chrome, then he can use the sock.js. Okay, so I think you got the register stomp endpoints method. And for the configuration, like it will create any door, then if anyone enter it, then there are sets approved. Like this method enable us to send the notification from the server side to client side. Okay, fine, you got it. like इस वीडियो में हम लोग अपने क्लाउडनरी कॉन्फ़िगरेशन को देखा एंड वेब सॉकेट कॉन्फ़िगरेशन को देखा एंड ऑल्सो कनेक्ट आवर डाटाबेस टू द प्रोजेक्ट. ओके, and in the next video we will make our entity and also try to implement all the methods. Okay, मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में.